Hello dear students, in the previous class we were discussing about the types of crystalline solids. So let us continue our discussion with some of the important terms which are used in the explaining the structure of the crystalline solids. So under that, the first one is the space lattice. So the space lattice, it is nothing but it is the three-dimensional arrangement of the points in the space. It is called as the space lattice. So the three-dimensional arrangement of the points in space is called as the space lattice. So the next term is the crystal lattice. So when the space lattice is occupied by the constituent particles of a crystalline solid like atoms, ions or molecules. So in three-dimensional space, the space lattice is called as the crystal lattice. Okay, if the lattice points are occupied by either the atoms, molecules or the ions of a crystalline solid, then the space lattice is called as the crystal lattice. So the smallest repeating unit in a crystal lattice over the three-dimensional, so which produces the complete crystal lattice, we call it as the unit cell. So unit cell is the smallest repeating unit in the crystal lattice. It is called as the unit cell. So next let us discuss about the crystallography. So crystallography is a branch of science which deals with the geometry, properties and structure of the crystalline substances. So the geometric crystallography is concerned with the external spatial arrangement of the crystal planes and geometric shape of the crystal. Okay, so the crystallography we will study about the geometry, properties and structure of the crystalline substances. So in crystallography, so we have some of the basic laws of geometric crystallography. So the crystallography, that is the laws of crystallography, has three fundamental laws. Under the first one is the law of constancy of interfacial angle. So the law of constancy of interfacial angle. So this is the first, that is the fundamental law of crystallography, geometric crystallography. So according to this law of constancy of interfacial angles, so the angle between the corresponding faces or planes forming the external surface of a crystal remains a constant for a substance, no matter how the face is developed. So here you can observe, so the interfacial angles in case of sodium chloride crystals are found to be 120. So you can observe the shapes, the size and shapes of the faces of the sodium chloride crystal. Okay, but these crystals have different sizes and shapes of the faces, but the interfacial angle in case of sodium chloride remains constant. So that is 120 degree. So irrespective of the size and shape, the interfacial angle of the crystalline substances remains constant. So that is the constancy of the interfacial angles. So that is the angle between the corresponding faces or planes of the external crystal remains constant for a given substance. So no matter how these faces are developed. So this is the statement of the constancy of interfacial angle. So that means the constancy refers to the constant. So the interfacial angles will remain constant. Okay. So the substance may crystalline under different conditions to produce the crystals with phases of variable size and shape. The angle of intersection of any two corresponding phases, however, would always found to be same. So here in this example, that is in case of sodium chloride crystal, we can observe, so there are different the sodium chloride crystals of different size and shape, but the interfacial angle remains constant. So this law, that is the law of constancy of interfacial angle. So the angle between the corresponding faces or the planes remain constant for a given substance no matter how the phase is developed. So this statement is called as the law of constancy of interfacial angles. So let us see one more law of the geometric crystallography. So the second law of geometric crystallography is the law of rationality of indices or intercepts. So here you can observe, so it is possible to choose along three coordinate axes of unit distance, not necessarily of the same length, such that the ratio of the intercepts of any plane in the crystal is given by LA is to MB is to NC. So where L, M and N are the simple integrals like 1, 2, 3 are fractions of the whole numbers. Okay. So here you can see the geometric crystal may be completely defined with the help of the coordinate axes. So all these coordinate axes meet at a point. So here all the three coordinate axes. So that is the coordinate axes A, B and C. So these are the coordinate axes. So these three coordinate axes, so they will going to meet at a point. So here that is called as the origin. So the number and the inclination of these crystallographic axes are chosen in such a way that all the crystal faces either intercept them at the definite distance from the origin, or they are parallel to some of the axes. So the next law of crystallography is the law of symmetry. So according to this law, all crystals of the same substance possess the same elements of symmetry. That is, all crystals of the same substance will going to possess the same elements of symmetry. So this statement is called as the law of symmetry. So next let us discuss about the symmetry in crystals. So the constituents of the crystalline solids, that is atoms, ions or molecules, are arranged in a definite order, repetitive fashion in 3 dimensions. So this arrangement of the constituent particles in a crystal, so that array, that means the arrangement of the constituent particles in a definite order. The array is called as the space lattice. So a peculiar regularity is observed in the arrangement of these constituent units in a crystal. So the crystals can be classified according to this regularity in the arrangement of the constituent particles. So in other words, we call it as the symmetry. So the symmetry is nothing but the regular arrangement of the constituent particles is called as the symmetry. So the geometrical entity like the plane or line with respect to a symmetrical operation is carried out is called as a symmetry element. So let us see the classification of these elements of symmetry. So under that, the classification of elements of symmetry. So let us see what are the plane of symmetry. What is plane of symmetry? So the plane of symmetry is nothing but it is the plane passing through the center of a crystal, so that the crystal can be divided into two halves, such that one half is the mirror image of another half. So in a crystal, for example, there are two types of planes of symmetry. So one is the rectangular plane of symmetry and another one is the diagonal plane of symmetry. So here you can observe, so that is the rectangular plane of symmetry, which is also called as the type 1 planes of symmetry. So in case of rectangular plane of symmetry, so the rectangular planes of symmetry are situated midway and parallel to the opposite faces. Okay, so here in this diagram you can observe, so this plane is situated at the center of the crystal, and this plane is parallel to the opposite faces. Okay, so these are known as the rectangular plane of symmetry. So there being six faces, so in this there are six faces or three pairs of the opposite faces. One pair, two pair, and three pair. Okay, so one pair, two pair, and three pair, front and back. Okay, there are six faces or three pairs of opposite faces in a cubic crystal. So therefore the three planes are possible. So as you can see in this diagram, so here, so we have indicated one plane, so which is parallel to these two faces. Okay, so if this plane is written here, so that plane will be parallel to these faces. Okay, so similarly in a cubic crystal, so three planes are possible. So this is the first type of plane of symmetry. So the rectangular planes of symmetry are situated at the center and that is parallel to the opposite faces. So in a case of cubic crystal, there are three planes of rectangular planes are possible. So next let us see the second type of plane of symmetry, so which is called as the diagonal plane of symmetry. So in case of the type 2 planes of symmetry, which are called as the diagonal planes of symmetry, so the planes will be touching the opposite edges because they lie on the diagonal of the opposite faces. So that's why it is called as diagonal planes of symmetry. So the planes, the imaginary planes will be lie on the diagonal of the opposite faces. So these are termed as the diagonal planes. So these being 12 edges, in a cubic crystal 12 edges will be present, or 6 such pairs of opposite edges, 6 planes are possible. So here you can see this plane, so which is present at the edge. So in case of the type 2 planes of symmetry or diagonal planes of symmetry, so these imaginary planes will be touching the opposite edges. So here you can see the plane is situated here, so it touches the opposite edges. So this plane is lie on the diagonally opposite to the faces. So diagonally opposite to the faces, so they are called as the diagonal planes of symmetry. So there are 12 edges, 12 edges in the cubic system, or 6 such opposite pair edges are present. So therefore 6 planes of diagonal planes of symmetry are possible in case of the type 2 planes of symmetry or diagonal planes of symmetry. So next let us discuss about one more that is element of symmetry. So that is line or axis of symmetry. Line or axis of symmetry. So line or axis of symmetry is nothing but, so it is the imaginary line passing through the center of the crystal when the crystal is rotated, so that it presents exactly the same appearance more than once in the course of the complete revolution of 360 degrees. So depending upon the number of times of the crystal appears unchanged in the course of the 360 rotation, it can have the following types of axis of symmetry. So the first one is the axis or fourfold symmetry. So here you can observe, so an imaginary line is passing through the center of the two opposite faces of a cube. On rotating the cube about this line, okay, so it will found that the cube presents exactly the same appearance four times in the course of 360 rotation. So when this crystal, that is cube, when it is rotated about the axis imaginary line for about 360 degree, so such that an axis, so therefore the termed an axis of fourfold symmetry, okay, so the four times the same, exactly the same appearance will be obtained four times when this cube is rotated through 360 degree. So we can obtain the same appearance four times. So such an axis or the imaginary line, so when it produces the exactly same appearances four times for a rotation about 360 degree, so then it is called as the fourfold symmetry or axis of fourfold symmetry. So the next one is the axis of threefold symmetry. Okay, so here in this diagram you can observe an imaginary line is passing through the opposite corners. So this is one corner, this is the opposite corner of this corner. Okay, so the imaginary line, or imagine a line is passing through the opposite corners of a cube along the body of the diagonal. So on rotating the cube about this imaginary line, so it will found that the cube presents the same appearance three times. So when this rotated about 360 degree, so the cube will present the same appearance three times. So such an axis, therefore it is termed as the axis of threefold symmetry or the triad axis. Okay, so here in a cubic system, so being 8 corners or 4 such body diagonally opposite pairs of corners in a cubic crystal, so therefore 4 such axes are possible. So in a cubic system the 4 threefold symmetry, axis of symmetry are possible. So the next one is the twofold symmetry. So that is axis of twofold symmetry. So the next one is the axis of twofold symmetry. So here in this diagram you can observe an imaginary line, or imagine a line passing through the center of the two diagonally opposite edges of a cube. So when this cube is rotated about this imaginary line, so it will be found that the cube presents the same appearance two times. in the course of rotation for 360 degree. So such an axis is termed as the axis of twofold symmetry or diode axis. So there being 12 edges or 6 axes are possible in case of the twofold symmetry. So the next element of symmetry is the center of symmetry. So here you can observe this crystal, or a crystal may possess a center of symmetry. So that is a point in it such that an imaginary straight line are drawn from this point meets a similar feature or angular plane at equal distances on the either side. Okay, so for a cubic crystal only one center of symmetry is possible. So this is the center of symmetry. Okay, this is an imaginary point. So when the straight lines are drawn, okay, from this point meets at the similar angles or planes, so at equal distances on the either side, so such point is called as the center of symmetry. Okay, these are the elements of symmetry.